Okay, now my app is deployed. As you can see, it shows the message. Okay, welcome to my application. Now let me show you where from this message is coming from. Okay, now let me just navigate to the place. Okay, this is the index file, which is the main server file. Now as you can see, this is a simple route I have implemented. There are other routes, but if this is going fine, okay, then everything is going fine and we are getting the message. Okay, now that is deployed. I'm going to walk you through about how I did it. You saw I did it, but how I did it. Now in order to find out, let's pip into my VS Code and see what I have done so far as of now. Now as you can see, this is the config folder. A config JSON file is there, and these are the model folder which holds the schema of and all the connection information. Now here you can see we are manipulating the node and file, and we are loading different type of variables based on what production mode, what environmental mode we are in, whether we are in development or in production. So this is the main file, configuration file. Okay, now in the configuration we have created all the variables to be used in this file. So two environments, production and development variables are all configured over there, so that the server picks up each variable as per the environment done. So for my development environment, I use this pgadmin4. So if you have, you can also use for local host purpose. Now while it takes time to load, let's just see what else we have done so far. So here, this one is the add-on that I have used in Heroku. It is by default coming in Heroku platform. That's the Postgres database, and whatever credentials it is having over there, we'll get it in the settings sections. These are the credentials for the production environment, and you got to take all the environments, all the credentials, and put it in the config.json file, so that it gets configured in runtime. When we are deploying that, we'll see that live in after some time. So these are the variables: database, username, passwords. Okay, now let's just look into the log files, because the previous one was not successful. Now here, this is the next log file. It is saying that some kind of modules is absent. Now I just changed the configuration of the URL. Now it is going fine, but now some of the configurations means the module is not able to find out. So this is actually the deployment process. Here you can see the node.env is converting to production. Okay, and it is picking all the production variables set in this database to connect the database while in production mode. Okay, I'm not showing the credentials because it is quite secret, but these are the variables which are actually getting connected while deploying the app. Here, the first thing it will do, it will set all the mode, the production, the runtime mode, then install the binaries. And if you go and check the package.json, these are the things that will be installing: node modules, bcrypt, and all the other things. Then here also in the settings, you have to configure the variable. Okay, so these are the two database settings you got to do. I'm accessing the reveal config variable from the app's configuration file. Here you can see I've set all the variables, which is also super secret. Okay, now what we'll do is it will install all the dependencies, runtime. It will set the runtime mode, install all the dependencies, node modules, bcrypts. Okay, nowadays it's also giving support for nodemon. You can also use that, and at last it will launch the URL. So this was the process. Now after that, what I just took note of that, it's showing that some kind of modules are missing. So in the auth control, okay, we are requiring this user service, which is actually an interface between database and the front-end application, which has been configured like that. Okay, so I just changed this import, and yes, after that it worked fine when I clicked it. Okay, rerun the Heroku master process, and when I clicked it, I got the deployment successful. So the two of the things I have done: tweak the URL and make sure all the imports are fine. So that was all about deployment. Let me just show you how I did it in this. Okay, the password has gone wrong. No, I'm always skeptical about passwords, and this is not the only one password I have to put to access the database in development mode. Okay, this is the second database. So now you are about to see my development database, which is quite different from that in the live server. Okay, so database, and yes, Pallavi dev database. This is the database I have been working and will be working for the next couple of days. Okay, and this is the user table, and these are all the columns that has been created. So this is a little sneak peek of the development server. So if you want to, so you got to work at the development server initially, so it's a better choice to use this client service for development mode. Okay, now that we have done this development, the next couple of videos will be about connecting this backend to the front end. Okay, I have one front end app already there, so we'll use this URL as the API URL to fetch request or send request from the front end to the backend app. Okay, and we'll see how the backend and front end is communicating for data transfer and all that. So all of this coming in the next lecture, next couple of lectures. So stay tuned and be happy, and yeah, that's it. Bye bye.